Now it's time for Perspective on the programme. And my guest today has just so many strings to his bow that he's kind of difficult to pin down. Born in Saudi Arabia, he's an Egyptian singer, a poet, a composer, an international actor as well. As a teenager, he moved to Egypt and lived under the uprisings against the then President Hosni Mubarak. So now, well, he uses the arts to tell the story of his country, of its troubles, but also of its beauty. Well, Abdullah Miniawy joins me now on the programme. Thanks for coming in. It's such a long list of things that you do. I did have trouble, kind of knowing where to start. How do you know where to start with that long list of things that you do?
I love art. I do art. I express myself this way, and yeah, I would love to call myself an artist. Yeah.
Is there one particular, form of art that you prefer to others, or is it just that being able to do so many different things?
I try out stuff all the time. I love to learn. I love to improve, and yeah, I think once you have a flash of an idea, you can transform it to a photo, a film, or a composition.
And where do those ideas come from? And I mentioned at the top when you moved to Egypt, you experienced in you living amongst that time in Egypt, which must have been so dramatic, the revolution and the fall of Hosni Mubarak.
It was definitely an inspiring moment. Also as part of it to improve and to change and to rethink things and to sculpt your own self. And today is different inspiration, but of course all is connected. And yeah, today maybe it's more personal. I dive inside myself. I dive in poetry and my culture, trying to find links with the environment here and to change something.
And at the time, you were still a boy, correct me if I'm wrong, when you actually sort of performed, if you like, at some of those demonstrations.
I started, when I was 16, 17, and Tahrir Square. I was invited by an Egyptian poet, Ali Talibab. And yeah, I found myself playing in front of thousands of people like this, and it was a good start.
I was going to say, you can't get a better first audience than that in a way, can you? I mean, and has that sort of led to you being able to create your art and do more with your art, do you think, as you've grown?
I mean, I was homeschooled. I was a very shy person, and suddenly you get shocked by this number of people, and of course it motivated me to carry on and to keep going. It was the best platform to start.
And where does the arts come from you in the first place? Where does that passion come from, if you like?
I think expression, I would say. Like, I wanted just to say something, to break some patterns in my culture, and my father is a professor also in Arabic language, and for me poetry is the main thing in my craft. So.
You've had several works that have really kind of struck a chord, if that's the right way of putting it, across the Middle East, particularly during the Arab Spring, notably in the Yarmouk refugee camp in Syria. Tell us what that was about.
There was one song, a poem I wrote called Qol al-Jallad, and it was sprayed in Yarmouk camp, and just I received the photos like this. I didn't know who really did it, but yeah, it was, again, a nice moment.
And not just that, I mean, your work also going across much of the rest of the Middle East, Egypt, of course, but also Tunisia, Syria, Lebanon.
Yeah, it's true. I have some followers from there, and they're like my family, my friends. I'm thankful to have them.
And what's it like, knowing that the work that you've created has spread so far and been inspirational as well for people?
I mean, when you compose something, just you can feel where it will go. Like, for me, I just observe myself, how it affects me, how it touches me, and from there I just release it, and I don't wait for anything but keep going. And yeah, I think I'm the first fan of what I do, so yeah. I'm the first critique, the first
It's obviously striking a chord from what you're saying. Let's talk about some of the things that you're doing at the moment, because your name, I mean, perhaps not quite so well known here in France, but you're hoping to change that, aren't you? Tell us what you're doing immediately, because you've got a jazz event.
Now in France, with Le Cri du Cœur, we just released an album this year, and we are nominated with other 2 albums for Victoire du Jazz, and it's a big thing for us, and we're going after tomorrow to play in the ceremony. Yeah, and at the moment I'm also launching a new project with 2 trombone players and voice, and we're gonna play first time 31st of August in La Petite Halle in Paris, and after this we're gonna play in the Asian Museum in Torino. And yeah, this is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm more into acoustic thing. I have my solo project also coming on DB's record in Milano this year, I hope. And yeah, this is what I have.
And you also have an event coming up at the Palais de la Porte Dorée in Paris in a couple of weeks' time. This is you and a renowned acrobat? How does that work?
Yeah, it's Charlie, the programmer, I think his last month there. Maybe he's gonna stay more, and he decided to throw something crazy like just to end up this amazing experience he had in the Palais de Porte Dorée, and I'm playing every day from the 18th until the 22nd, improvising and exchanging with a dancer acrobat.
Yeah. That sounds fascinating. Certainly sounds very different. We talked about the tough side of Egypt and you know that time with Hosni Mubarak. What about the other side of Egypt? Because you also spend a lot of time, don't you, in making sure that your work reflects not just that difficult time, but the beautiful side of Egypt as well.
I mean, Egypt is Egypt, will remain Egypt. It's a beautiful country, beautiful geography, amazing weather. I mean, yeah, it's home in the end. And I mean, we can spend all day speaking about Egypt, but yes, it's really warm culture. I love it. I miss Egypt sometimes.
Well, it's great to talk to you on the programme. Thanks for coming in and
Thank you for having
enjoying your culture and your way of going about turning that into the art as well. Thanks very much,
Thank
Abdullah
you. Thank you for having me.
Miniawy, and good luck with your events here in Paris as well.